Hey guys, and welcome to the final video for how I made my Spider-Man costume. For this video, we're just gonna be focusing on just making the boots. We're gonna be making the base of the boots. Um, I did the blue leggings off camera, and I just used the rest of my blue fabric to make them. They're a tad bit shorter because they go halfway above the calves, but that's what I intended on doing for the blue portion of the costume. So we're going to be focusing on just the boots, and what I'm using is a almost knee sock. Pretty much it stretches out to above the calf. So what I'm doing is I am now tracing the exterior of the sock onto the red fabric. Now I know you guys are not gonna be able to see the outlining because I'm using a red Sharpie. I had to carefully keep an eye on where the I had to carefully keep an eye on where the red Sharpie line was at, so I just kept a keen eye out. If you're going to be doing this, I prefer just using a black marker or using a white gel pen. It's a lot easier, but for me, I didn't know where my white gel pen was at. I couldn't find it, but yeah, I'm just using a red Sharpie. And the method I'm going to be using is I'm going to be doing the side view of the sock and then the bottom of the sock as like the side views of the boots, and then the sole of the boots for the Spider-Man costume. And hopefully I can be able to do all this in one voiceover. But yeah, right now I'm just cutting out the outlining of where I drew the lines for the Spider-Man boot. This works also for the Flash boot or Batman boots or anything like that. But the only thing is that I'm not going to be adding shoe soles directly to it yet. What I want to do first is actually get more more black puff paint so I can do the webbing for the boots and the main torso of the costume. I've already done it for the mask. I did that off camera, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing that for as like a short video for TikTok or something. And now what I'm gonna be doing is the sole of the boot, which is what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing is I'm actually flattening the sock to where the logo of the sock is facing up. The heel is on the fabric as well as the base of the sock is on the fabric, so that I can get the right outlining for the sole of the shoe, so that I can sew it together. And I'm not using the Sharpie this time. I'm just gonna be carefully cutting around it. If you want to do the top and bottom method of the boot, you can do that too, but the only problem is that it'll leave the seam line on the sides of the Spider-Man boots, so I really wouldn't recommend doing it. I mean, yes, it is faster, it is more efficient, but it'll make it less accurate because, as you can see, it makes the sides and bottom seem more fluent. And if you actually look at the Spider-Man costumes, they actually do have flat portions of the costume because they are genuinely just fabric sewed in together, and it does have aesthetic webbing on it. But for my Spider-Man costume, I'm just gonna be doing this method, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Um, and when I did the bottoms of the boots, I actually decided to do that little curve on the sides that go on the interior of the foot, so that I know which is left and which is right. And so now it's time to sew it together. Alright, so what I'm doing is the boots. Um, I'm going to be first sewing the sole of the boots to the sides of the boots. This took a bit of time because I had to make sure that I had a perfect fitting for the boots. They were only a little bit baggy after I sewed it together when I test fitted it. But the key method here is to ensure the outlining of the bottom of the boots are matched up with the bottom portion of the boots, so that when you put it on, the outlining of the boot is perfectly in sync and perfectly in line. And if you're wondering what the little translucent piece is on the lower right corner of the screen, that's just the blade of my lightsaber that I got for my legacy saber. Don't worry about that. But right now I'm just making sure that each piece of fabric is not folded over itself more, and I am only getting it sewn under on two pieces. And what I did, if you didn't know what I did, I sewed it down only a few inches, and then I sewed it back up. That's so that the beginning sew line doesn't break when you use it. Now, naturally, you wouldn't have to do this if you're making the boots and the sole of the boots, but I did it just so that it has a bit more structural integrity, and also so that if the initial seam line between both side views of the boot break, the bottom of the shoe doesn't break, and I'll be able to fix it faster. And so I'm doing it in small quantities so that the fabric is lined up perfectly, so that when I reach the heel of the boot, I can easily just stop um, and do the other side. And now you see that I'm actually going to be cutting off the extra threading. I'm not going to do the double stitching on the other side because, of course, I'm going to be sewing both halves together once the other side is sewed on. And this is somewhat of a simple process for me to do, but I actually enjoyed doing the entire process. I know it's been a long time between this and the last video, but me doing this entire process, it was really easy. But for this part of the costume, it's pretty much the same method on the other side, but instead of it being on the, well, actually it's the same thing, but just I had to flip the fabric around. For doing it with the other side of the boot, it was practically the same method, but with the one I'm doing right now, um, I'm not, uh, I'm not gonna do that secured stitching like I did with the top, but with the first piece, because of course I'm gonna be sewing that together, and then I'm gonna be sewing the main part of the tip of the toe to the side views of the boot. And if you're wondering what camera I'm actually using my DSLR camera. I'm utilizing it because, of course, I want to try and get more in tune with using my camera. I used it for the first video, but I just took pictures of it from my phone. I didn't have the cable to I didn't have the right cable to send the videos through my computer. But all in all, I managed to get it to work. I got the cord for it now, and what I'm doing now is just sewing the pieces together, making sure that each piece is sewed in properly. And at the tip or the back of the heel, I secured it perfectly to make sure it was right. And yeah, this is pretty much like the easiest method I can do for the boots. But honestly, when everything is sewed together properly, you'll see what it looks like in the end. But right now, I'm just sewing together each piece of fabric to each other, starting with the two halves or side views of the boots to the main portion of the boot. And if you don't know what I'm doing right now or what I did, I actually had a bit of a problem with the thread. It got a bit jammed, so I just took some thread out and I redid it. I put the fabric too low to where the needle goes past it, so I just fixed it, made sure everything was in line, and sewed it together. And it was relatively easy. But if it does happen, just carefully stop what you're doing and just fix the threading. Normally it'll be at the base of the machine, but if not, then it'll be at the bottom wheel where the bottom portion of the thread comes through. If you don't know what I'm talking about, um, then I'll try and explain it later on when I show how to sew properly. But since I finished doing the side views, I'm now going to be sewing up the toe and heel portion of the boots. But before we do that, um, I'm actually going to be test fitting it so far. Well, actually, I cut forward ahead to test fit it, but I was fixing my camera. I test fitted it, and so far it was a pretty good fit. You can see the Spider-Man costume in the background, but so far that's how I pretty much did the boots. It was relatively easy. The method was practically the same, and yes, there were some wrinkles, but all in all, the boots were easy to wear, easy to put on, and yeah. So that's how you do the boots. And I know I cut it out. I missed out on explaining the toe section, but I just sewed it. You just sew it at an angle to where it's flat to the front and back. But yeah, that's how you do the boots of the Spider-Man costume. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and tell me in the comments down below what part of this process you mostly enjoyed. And I will be showing off the full costume uh, later on when it's all finished up. I will also show it when it's full, when it has all the web pattern on it. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.